Now, I know when a lot of people think about tacos, they're thinking about ground beef or maybe steak or chicken, but I've got another kind of taco in mind for you. And yes, it's going to use some greens from the garden, but it's going to be greens in a red chili sauce with some black beans. Now, I think those are just absolutely a match made in heaven when you think of all of those flavors together. But the first thing that we have to do is to create a red chili sauce, and I'm going to use guajillo chilies for that. These are the smooth-skinned chilies. You can find them at practically any Mexican grocery store. They, of course, have to be cleaned of all their seeds to start with. So you pull off the stem end of it and then just open them up. I can use my finger to open them like that and shake all the seeds out. If there's a seed pod stuck at the top, pull that out. And then once all of these are cleaned, I'm going to toast them in oil in a large saucepan. I'm just going to turn them until they start to change colors and they fill the air with their beautiful toasty chili aroma. Then all of those toasted chilies get collected in a bowl, run under some hot tap water, just enough to cover them nicely, lay a plate on the top to keep them submerged, and let them rehydrate for 20 or 30 minutes until they're very supple. Then with about 2/3 cup of that soaking liquid, we're going to combine all of those chilies in the blender. Now there's 3 flavorings that I'm going to put into this red chili sauce. One is garlic, just raw garlic in this case. Those are going to go into the blender along with a little bit of freshly ground black pepper. I know that's not a common seasoning in a lot of Mexican dishes, but it goes beautifully with the guajillo chilies. And of course, the necessary little bit of Mexican oregano. This is bought in the whole leaf form so that you can crush it and release all of its natural aroma. Then the top goes on here, and we're going to blend it until it becomes smooth. Now we have to cook this chili sauce. So we're going to return the chili toasting pan with the oil still in it to a medium-high heat. Add the chili puree all at once, pressing it through a medium mesh sieve. Stir it for 4 or 5 minutes until it's reduced to the consistency of tomato paste. This is really important to achieve the rich, round flavor and bring out the natural sweetness. Then add 3/4 of a cup of water to it. Turn the heat way down and let it simmer for a few minutes. You can make these tacos with any cooking green, really. I particularly like it with this black Tuscan kale, or what's called dinosaur kale. But I just picked this beautiful rainbow chard out of the garden. So I think today that's what's called for this. The stems of the chard will give you a different kind of texture, but I usually like to treat them a little bit differently, so I'll cut them crosswise. They make beautiful confetti-looking pieces here in our finished dish. And then the Swiss chard itself, I'm going to cut crosswise into about 1/2-inch pieces. All of that will collect together here on this baking sheet. I've got a can of black beans that I'm going to put with it, and then everything gets simmered together in that beautiful red chili sauce. First, to season the sauce, it's going to take about a teaspoon of salt. And then this is the part that a lot of people just don't understand. When you're working with red chili sauces like this, if you want to bring out the natural fruitiness of those chilies, you're going to need to add just a little bit of sugar. So I'm putting in about a 1/2 teaspoon of sugar. Stir that. Now in goes the can of black beans drained of their canning liquid. And then all of the charred first stems go in, and then all of the sliced leaves. Now you'll notice that there's just enough of that sauce to coat those greens, and it'll take a few minutes for them to wilt beautifully into that sauce. And you're gonna have, I think, one of the most soul-satisfying, well, in fact, I think it's like soul food. That's exactly what the flavors are here. Red chili sauce with beans and greens. This filling is particularly delicious in tacos that are sprinkled with a little bit of fresh cheese, queso fresco. Even some fresh goat cheese is really delicious. Everybody, welcome. We finally got our little taco party rolling